Hello everyone, my name is Elle and welcome to my Panda palette update. I've got a lot of progress to show and tell, so let's just get right into it. So this is what my palette looked like at my last update. I hadn't finished anything up, but I had lots of pan showing. And this is my palette now. 2 shadows down and 2 shadows I hit pan on. So let's start with my baby, the empty pan, formerly known as Honey Lust. This is one of my favorite shadows of all time. It's a peachy gold that does apply pretty sheerly when it's dry, but when it's applied wet, like I would use it with Fix Plus, it's just a metallic dream. So Honey Lust made the perfect lid shade. So I would apply it all over my lid and then blend it out with something in my crease. A lot of the times I was using a matte hot pink, the hot pink that's in the Kat Von D Mi Vida Loca Remix palette to be exact, because it gives you that gold, rose gold, hot pink effect on the eye. It's really easy. Like, it's really just a 2 shadow look. So simple, especially when I don't have a lot of time in the morning. If you use a matte orange in your crease when you have a gold on your lid, you get a really simple sunset or sunrise kind of effect. Very easy again, just like with the pink shadow, because it's literally just 2 shadows. But then I would play around with what I would use on my lower lash line. So a lot of the time, if I wanted color, I would use like a bright blue, like the blue from the Mi Vida Loca palette again, because that was my Project Pan Porn, so that's what I was using. But you could also just really tone it down with a neutral color. So I could use one of the shades in here. Like if I just wanted something really subtle on my lower lash line, I could use like Poppyseed or Quarry or Haux. I'm really inspired by the colors of nature, so that's where some of my looks come from. And of course I could do something a lot more subtle with Honey Lust and just blend it out with like Poppyseed in the crease, and then just have a very basic neutral eye. I could either leave it like that. Of course, often I was putting a bright color in the inner corner or using like a bright sort of highlight shade, something like the Kat Von D Alchemist palette, which I reach for a lot just to give a little bit of extra color, because I don't always like to do the more boring sort of neutral stuff, but that does really help when I want to wear a bold lip, so I can just do something more subtle on my eye. There's a lot of versatility with a gold eyeshadow, and I don't think a lot of people play around with golds much. Like, they just sort of do a standard gold look. You don't really see a whole lot of other things going on, but you can put a bright color on your lower lash line or a color in your waterline. You know, if you have like a really vibrant eyeliner, I find golds look really cool with blue and green especially. So if you have like a really vibrant blue or green eyeliner, put that in their waterline instead of just nothing or a brown or a black, and it just gives you something a little bit different, and it's just, they're so much fun. So if you have a gold eyeshadow and you've been stuck on how to use it, try using it with some color. The other eyeshadow I finished is Antiqued, and I actually finished that shadow tonight. I intentionally saved some shadow because I wanted to wear it in this video, because I feel like I haven't really shown Antiqued much. And I'm really bad at taking makeup photos and saving them. I've said this before. I will often take pictures on Snapchat and sometimes for my Instagram story and post them there with my daily kind of makeup. So if you really are interested in seeing how I would use this palette on the daily, I would recommend following me on those platforms if you have those accounts, because that's where I post that sort of stuff. And I never save the pictures. It's so hard to get a good picture with your phone, I find, of makeup anyway. Things just don't look right. So I just get my Snapchat photo and I'll caption it with like what palette I'm wearing or something. And I'm really open to conversations on there too. So, you know, it's another place to reach me if you wanted to chat a little bit more. I'm really responsive to Instagram and Snapchat. So just wanted to throw that out there because I often get questions about seeing visuals for the eye look, and I get how beneficial it is. I really do. I just am terrible at taking photos. So anyway, Antiqued, finished that today, wearing Antiqued on my eye. I've got Antiqued and then some mint color. It just sort of came to me. I wasn't really planning anything, and I just like light bulb moment, and I went, yes, I'm gonna try this. We'll see. I like it. So Antiqued was a really warm, shimmery, reddish brown shade. It's really another favorite of mine. I could totally see myself having a single of that shadow as well in the future. I don't have Antiqued anymore right now, but I do have Honey Lust. It's in the warm neutral ×15 palette. So I can reach for it every now and then, although I'm trying not to reach for it because I want to play around with these shades without using Honey Lust. Anyway, this is not about Honey Lust, this is Antiqued. I told you guys I love that shadow. Anyway, Antiqued I mostly used for smoky eyes. The beauty of that shadow is that you can go really, really intense with it, or you can be really soft. So if I wanted to go the soft route, I would pick up the shadow dry as opposed to spraying it with Fix Plus, and I would pick it up on a blending brush, something like a MAC 217, which is pretty large and fluffy just for my particular eye shape, but then I could just blend it softly and it would end up being pretty hazy and just more reddish brown, so you get sort of like a messy, soft, grungy effect. And then if I needed to blend it out with something, I would use, again, one of these neutral shades in here, like Poppyseed, Quarry, Haux. One of those shades were really good for blending out any of those harsh edges, so I could just have really something soft, smoky. For something more intense, I would just wet the shadow with Fix Plus and then really pack it on my lid so it was much, much darker, and then use one of like the shades like Poppyseed to blend it out a little bit more. Doing the intense smoky eye, even for the day, was pretty easy. And I'm not about subtlety in the day. I mean, I will wear bold lips and everything else. It's just a matter of having the time to do it. But I could do the darker eye and either do a lighter lip or like a brown lip again, and I could really have a darker eye and a darker lip. And as long as it was in the same color family, it looked okay. And I actually got compliments on my makeup. Nobody has ever told me that my makeup was too much at work, although I am in a pretty casual environment. Anyway, I'm trying really hard not to ramble too much in these videos. I am trying. Okay, so the two shadows I hit pan on since my last update are Haux, a satin, and Quarry, a matte. So these two shadows, along with Poppyseed, I would often use as transition shades. Every now and then I would just use a combination of those three on their own with nothing else. I mean, no other color or anything like that. Very, very soft, very, very subtle, like a cool toned neutral eye look. Great, again, for pairing with a bolder lip. I could really wear any lip with that. And oftentimes in my lipstick roulette videos, if you happen to watch those, when I'm doing my lip swatches, I usually have just a little bit of like Poppyseed and Quarry in my crease just to give a little bit of definition, because when you're wearing so many different colors of lipstick, you don't want to have too much going on. Like, I wouldn't want to have an eye like this and swatch different lipsticks on, because it would really end up affecting the way that the lipstick looked, because if it clashed with the eye look, then it's not going to look as good as if it's just being worn on its own. So these three shades have been getting a huge workout all the time. I wear them a lot because I really do enjoy using them. The other shades, I didn't really use them much at all, maybe, you know, once, but I did find a way to use #noir. Finally. So of course this would be a black smoky eye, of course. It is a black shadow with gold glitter. However, when you put it on your lid, it doesn't really show up that well. So I found out something that worked completely by accident. I was already running late on time and I decided that I wanted to use this shadow. I don't know why. It's always like when I have the least amount of time that I'm like, let's experiment and play with things. No, it's not a good idea. So I started applying that shadow, #noir, on my lid. I applied it a little bit wet because I was thinking it was going to show up a little bit more, and it just looks so bad. It's such a patchy shadow. It was not good. It was not good. And I was like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do with this? This just looks awful. I kept trying to blend it out, but it just looked really strange. Like, the glitter just does not translate very well. So I kind of left it, was doing the rest of my face makeup, and I was putting on my highlighter. And it was the Ultimate Glow Kit from Anastasia, which has 5 gold shades and 1 white highlight, which is what I always wear. It's my highlight now. But I looked at it as I was using the mirror for the palette to apply my highlight, and then I looked at the eyeshadow, and I looked at the highlighters, and I just went, okay, well, it wouldn't hurt. Let's take some of this gold highlighter and tap it on top. And it looks so good. It looks so good. I was so happy. I was taking pictures of it on Snapchat. Like, look guys, look what I did. It just pairs well with a neutral lip, like a light concealer lips like I like. Very dramatic eye. So I'm so glad I found at least one way so far that I can wear that shadow. I might end up having to pan a look when it comes to doing that shadow. I know some other people who pan palettes do that. They do the same look day in and day out to get progress on their shadow. That would drive me nuts, but I mean, a black smoky eye, glitter, concealer lips, how could I really go wrong, right? Right? We'll see. So there you have it. This is my current pan progress. I'm getting there. I'm much happier with this update than I was at my last update because now I feel like I'm finally getting somewhere. It's visible finally. Like, I know I was working hard on this palette, but the progress just wasn't visible yet, and now I can see the progress crystal clear. So it's making me feel a lot better about my usage. So my goal for the next month is to finish up Star Violet, that shade right there, which I already have a massive pan on. I'd like to expand the pan on Poppyseed, Haux, and Quarry, the mattes and satins that I hit pan on here as well. I like to expand that pan a little bit more. And I'd like to use Sketch, which is the shade in the corner. I want to try and find some way to use that shade that I like. A few things I've tried I haven't really ended up liking because I've never reached for it again. So if you guys have any suggestions, any ideas at all on how I could use any of these shades, let me know. Give me ideas for eye shapes, for looks, give me an idea for like a lip color, anything you guys can think of that might help me with this palette. I would really, really appreciate it because it's such a good palette. It has so many good flattering tones in here, but sometimes you hit a wall and you just keep doing the same things over and over again, and I could really use some inspiration to do something different. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I really, really appreciate your time watching me, watching my progress with my palette. You guys mean the world to me. I'm so grateful. So anyway, thank you once again, and I hope I will see you in my next video. Bye for now.